There's something in common with the iPhone and the Strymon BigSky MX. No, there isn't a secret iPhone reverb engine. It's not the iPhone name style change in the newer BigSky. It's something more fundamental. Compared to the BigSky, the new MX isn't groundbreaking or world-changing. The MX is a useful but iterative upgrade. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Sweely Music for letting me borrow their BigSky MX unit for demo purposes. I filmed on site for both this video as well as Sweely's socials. You can find a collab reel on Sweely's Instagram profile, which links back to my All About Worship Guitar IG. Follow Sweely Music to be kept abreast of all the latest gear and special events at their various locations, linked in the description box below. This won't be a comprehensive review of the BigSky MX, so don't expect a demo of every reverb algorithm. Many other folks have done it, so what I'm offering instead is some perspective as to why this pedal isn't at the top of my must-have list, even though I'm a worship guitar player. Number one, dual reverb algorithms are cool, but routing is still limited. One of the key features of the BigSky MX is the ability to run two reverb algorithms at once, with the ability to route them in series, parallel, or splitting them to two different outputs. The idea is that with two reverb algorithms, you just need this one reverb pedal on your board. Except that's still not the way I'd run two reverb pedals on a board. Yes, routing them in series can lead to a stacked reverb sound, but I want to have one reverb before the amp and one reverb after the amp. In other words, pre and post amp reverb stacking. The reverb before the amp helps achieve wet section saturation, leading to that crunched reverb sound, and the reverb after the amp glues the tone together with an ambience. This is what pre and post amp reverb sounds like with a Walrus audio slot bar in the GFI System's specular reverb. Now on the Strymon timeline, there's an option to use an input and an output as an FX loop insert and return. The inserted effect will only affect the delay repeats. I'm not an engineering expert, but I think it was a missed opportunity to have a similar routing option to insert effects in between reverb 1 and reverb 2. You could theoretically do this by setting up two reverbs with split routing, then connecting the left output into an amp sim. After that, connect the amp set output to the right input. Presto, pre and post amp reverb. However, this loses stereo functionality of the pedal, and since we worship players need to have our reverb in stereo, this is not a good solution. Speaking of solutions, number 2, USB-C MIDI connectivity is cool, but why are we connecting cables in the first place? The Eventide H9 was released in 2013. The TC Electronic Plethora X5 was released in 2020. Both of these pedals have a leg up over the newly released 2023 BigSky MX. They have Bluetooth connectivity and a phone app to tweak, save, and manage presets. For a device that's supposed to be the cream of the crop with a price to match, I find it disappointing that we're still not wirelessly tweaking our Strymon pedals. That being said, having a dedicated USB-C port is better than what we're used to with Strymon pedals. Purchasing and using a separate clunky USB MIDI interface just to connect to the Nixie editing software. Here's a quote from a BigSky MX review that's too good to be paraphrased, so I'm going to read it in full. Having to cable up your pedal to a laptop is just primitive and should have been long consigned to the dustbin of history. Number 3, a dedicated infinite freeze button is cool, but losing preset C isn't. I may be part of the minority here, but I don't write individual song presets for my Strymon units. Those of you with big pedal boards with a MIDI switcher, some of you have 50 different presets for 50 different songs. Or so you'd like us to think. Come on, it's a safe space here, you can admit it. You don't have 50 presets.
Yeah, what if you had like 50 presets that you had made?
A lot of people run
You
them per
didn't use
song.
50 presets.
Some people do.
There's no way you were dialing through 50 sounds, cycling through the banks. You couldn't remember that.
My workflow is to load up the timeline, Mobius, and BigSky on banks so I can load up different shades of a particular algorithm. On the timeline in Mobius, calling out a bank with AB presets usually means a milder and wilder setting. For the BigSky with its ABC presets, I usually have mild, thick, and ambient settings, sometimes allocating a shimmer to preset C. With this updated AB preset layout, I have to change my workflow, probably adopting the mild, wild style presets. And speaking of updates, well, my personal choice is that I won't be getting the BigSky MX since I already have a Big Sky and have a preferred workflow, I must say that the updated reverb algorithms are so fun to play. For example, the ensemble feature makes its way over from last year's impressive Cloudburst pedal, and again provides cavernous string-like subtleties of John Williams conducting a Sugar Ross string section. However, with BigSky MX's vastly superior processing power on tap, the sound is more dynamically responsive and string-light than its smaller standalone sibling. Notably, there are hidden gems like adding tremolo to the reverb signal in the non-linear algorithm. It's not tap tempo enabled, but still a fun sound to have for different textures. In conclusion, if you're an existing Big Sky user, you might feel like an iPhone user. You have a sufficiently advanced device that won't get outdated, but you could potentially see yourself with the latest and greatest model. If you don't have the Big Sky, this will be a golden opportunity to get one used, since there will be people upgrading and letting go of their old Big Skies. If you've gotten value out of this video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to grow the channel and join the community. Check out my Buy Me a Coffee page where you can directly support the channel or get one of my preset packs for your Line 6 device. For an in-depth look into how I approach pre- and post-amp reverb, I did a pedalboard build video featuring a mono rail large pedalboard, kindly given by Sweely Music. I'll see you there.